Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's going on?
Happy
everybody?
Sunday drive.
Happy Sunday drive. So we always think we're going to do a fast Sunday drive.
It's going to be a fast one.
It's going to be the fast version.
It's going to be fast.
Yeah. That was a marriage thing that just happened then.
Stop.
I'm not. But anyway, we're going to Chick Fil A to get food because
we're hungry.
Well, first of all, both of our daughters are at our house.
Yay.
As Boo Boo came from
Elizabeth
came home from college, and then our daughter has purchased a new home, but
no internet.
They don't have internet at the house, and it really does illustrate what an essential service internet is.
Yeah.
So she just comes to our house every day to
brings
work.
her dogs. And
brings her dogs. So.
Yeah, but which is kind of nice, though, because Elizabeth is home. I guess it's fall break.
Yep.
And
as this airs, I will be on my way back from Richmond for my second weekend of dog sitting and putting in new floors. So I'll maybe put some pictures up when I edit. Oh no, I can't because I'm editing this sooner. I'm dumb. Anyway, so we're trying to do the fast version. We're tired. I sat next to a lady hacking like crazy on the thing, so I don't have COVID. Yeah. Oh. But I have a little cold or something. So it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
But we didn't want to cancel the Sunday drive. Oh, you see what I did there? So we thought we would talk about canceling contracts.
I love that. That's
People have questions these days about new construction contract, resale contract. So we wanted to share with you how to cancel or not to cancel, or how do you cancel, what's the implications of canceling, and all that. So let's start with that. Why would you cancel? Okay. First of all, let's start new construction. Why would you cancel?
Well, so new construction, again, every situation is different. Every builder is different. But the long and short of it is that this is happening quite a bit right now with new construction. For instance, and in most cases, you contracted so long ago and you were approved at an interest rate that no longer exists. It's doubled in some cases. From some people, or almost doubled. Just depend. Well, I guess not really doubled, but at any rate, it's substantially higher, which has had a drastic effect on your overall monthly mortgage payment. Which has, think about people that were approved originally, a year ago, that were at the tip top of their approval amount, and now. Yeah. The interest rate, now they legitimately cannot afford the home.
Well, a year ago, for every $1,000 you were borrowing, you were paying $30 a year in interest. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's $60 now in interest for every $1,000 you're borrowing, so if you're borrowing $500,000, then we're talking about, as opposed to paying 30 times 500, right, a year, now you're paying 60 times 500 in a year. It's a lot more money.
It is.
And sometimes people lose their ability to pay the mortgage.
And sometimes it's taking too long. Like, for instance, some clients in some communities where they may be exceeding or meeting that 2-year mark. Right. That the new construction purchase agreement says that they have to build the home. And there are some people who are like, look, I don't have another year and a half to wait, or whatever the case is. Wow, is this backed up all the way around?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So Chick Fil A, so someday we'll do a Sunday drive, we'll go to 5 different drive-thrus to talk about their system. The Chick Fil A system is obviously take your order way outside. Yeah. So all these people have already ordered.
Yeah, which is pretty good, and it goes pretty quickly, all things considered. But anyway, the blue car said, no, thank you. Yep.
Peace outed.
I'm like, nope.
Okay, so anyway, so there's lots of reasons you might cancel. So then when you have purchased a home, you have given an earnest money deposit, right?
Correct.
And that's really what's at issue if you want to cancel. True?
Correct. And you have to keep in mind that earnest money deposit can be different if we're talking a resale home. This person said no thank you as well. So let's just say in a resale contract, okay, so we're buying a home, the home is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Your earnest money deposit is whatever your offer said it was going to be. In most cases, 1%, 2%. So let's say you have a $500,000 home and you're going to put down a 1% earnest money deposit. You have $5,000, and that's at risk. Which is why, by the way, when you do offers a higher earnest money deposit, it reflects a little bit more to the seller that you have a little bit more invested in it. Okay.
Meaning you're less likely to cancel.
Now you have a safety period within a resale home. So you have like whatever your inspection period is. So let's say we sorry. So let's say yes. So let's say that we're purchasing a resale home. We've said that we're going to put an earnest money deposit in of $7,500, and we have a 7-day inspection period. So we have 1 week. We have 7 days from the time of all signatures being on the contract. 7 days that you are safe, basically based on the inspection results, as to if you decide to cancel that contract or to not continue to move forward, that you can do so without any repercussion. Let's say you get that earnest money deposit in, which typically is done within 3 days. So let's say on day 2, you've submitted your $7,500 earnest money deposit, but on day 6, you just change your mind.
Yeah.
Something happens. You lost a job, but let's just say something in your life changed, or you've changed your mind. You are still legally within your right within that inspection period to change your mind, sign a cancellation and release, receive that $7,500 earnest money deposit back. No harm, no foul.
Can I throw out one thing?
Sure.
Ethically, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Like,
yes.
don't just go, Like, don't put a house
abuse
under contract.
that.
Yeah,
yes.
But you literally can, because it's your inspection period. You can be like, I thought that the paint was satin and it's really eggshell. Therefore, when I cancel, it doesn't matter. Yes. You can have any reason you want. You can cancel, but don't do that.
No.
And there were people that were doing that in the hot and heavy period.
And that is, I'm sorry.
Just like, so, people from out of town, a lot of times realtors were saying, has your client actually seen the home?
Correct. They wanted to know whether or not it was a virtual showing,
right,
or whether or not they were physically in there, because people
were literally giving you an earnest money deposit and going, well, then I'll fly in and come see it after the fact,
and if I don't
I'll
like
just cancel it if I don't like
it.
it.
That's so, and legally they can do that by the terms of the contract, but ethically that's poor.
Right.
And we tell everyone, enter into every contract understanding that it is a legal binding contract, and there are rules and there's ramifications for continuing or not continuing and abiding by what those terms and conditions are.
So next way you can get out without, quote, penalty, essentially, if I'm right, is like a financing contingency. So then you don't qualify for financing, which is optional-ish, because that is in the contract or it's not.
I was going to say, if it was in the contract. And so here's a perfect example. And I won't go too deep into it, but let's just say, so I had some clients and it was with new construction. They chose an outside lender. They did not use the builder's preferred lender for whatever reason. And that is also your right to do that. You can absolutely do that. We'll talk about what that means that you may or may not get from the builder, but regardless, they used an outside lender. Well, the outside lender's pre-approval said that they were not financially contingent to sell their existing home. So,
right.
Now they're in a situation where they've removed the financing contingency from it. So that kind of takes that off the plate. Now, if you do have the financing contingency built into the contract, which it typically is kind of as a default, right?
Yeah.
If you're financing, at least.
It usually says the buyer will secure financing within 30 days.
Right.
And that if they aren't unable to secure
approval, yes.
and if they're unable to secure financing, then the contract is voided.
And we do have to pause for a second, only because.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I know we're going to go, but what am I ordering?
They want the nugget combos. Boo Boo wants a cherry Coke, and Allie wants Diet Coke, and then Polynesian sauce and Chick Fil A sauce.
Coke, Diet Coke.
We're getting a real inside look at our life here.
Okay, hold on. Pausing.
Okay, so she's going to make the order, but I'll discuss with you other things.
Amy.
Can
we have, you wanted a number one, right?
Yeah, sure.
2 number one combos, please.
Order.
Large size with the Diet Coke, light ice, please.
That's very exciting. Anything else?
Yes, and then 3 of the, is it the 10-piece nuggets?
12.
3 of the 12-piece nugget combos, all large sized. 1 with a Diet Coke, 1 with a cherry Coke, 1 with a regular Coke.
Nope, 2 with Diet Coke.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 with a Diet Coke.
No regular Coke.
No regular
2
Coke.
Diet Cokes, 1 cherry Coke.
1 cherry Coke. Light ice.
Yeah. I never said regular Coke. You're just confused. She's confused. Right in the middle of the video.
No.
Maybe I'll edit.
Anything else?
So if
no,
I've
that's
edited,
it. Just Chick Fil A sauce and Polynesian, please.
$52.44.
Perfect. I got it faster.
Boom, I won.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, so, like, I'm not going to edit this. We're going to make it seem like it's just... say hi to everyone. We're recording
Thank
the video.
you so much. We appreciate it.
So...
Okay, just I have to clarify the drink situation. There's 3 nugget combos.
Yes. 2 Diet Cokes and 1 Cherry Coke.
Who wanted the other diet?
Our daughter, Allie. Which is what she gets.
Right, but if it's...
did you get something for... Were you thinking you were getting something for Dawson?
Yes.
Oh, well...
That's why I did 3 of the 12-piece nugget
Okay, well, then
combos.
there's 5 people total. Did you order 2... 2 number ones? Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay, never mind.
See,
Well, you
just
have an
for the
extra Diet Coke
record,
then.
I was right. So now Dawson's missing the correct drink.
I was trying to talk to the good people.
You should...
Okay.
Anyway, continuing on.
So you can get out on your inspection period, safety period. You can get out on a financing contingency. Again, that's bad news.
Yeah,
it's not like it's yay, I didn't qualify. But there are situations where people, like someone gets they're at their job, they get a demotion or a lowering in pay or cut back on their hours. Or any of those things. Right. Those things can happen. Nobody wants that to happen. No. Buyers, sellers, nobody wants that to happen. But if it does happen, and if it's in the contract that way, whatever. Right. So now let's talk about what happens if you don't meet that financing contingency, you don't meet the inspection period, and you just, for whatever reason, and we say change your mind, not glib like that.
No.
So, perfect example, we won't mention clients by name or particular situation, but you'll know who I'm talking about. So we had someone that went under contract on a house in a new construction community, and then after they thought about it for a while, they found a different community they liked better, right? And to them, they had put, I think, $25,000 on money deposit, but they really did weigh the situation and say, you know what, it's worth $25,000 to me to switch to this other thing. Right. And I think there was some hope there that they would still, that the builder would be nice.
I was going to say, there was some, I'm sorry, interrupted you.
No, please.
There was some very real frustration on their part, even though I told them, you have no viable reason other than your own will to cancel. The builder has done nothing outside of the contract. They're building, so according to that, you're going to lose your earnest money deposit. And I can certainly going to be your advocate and but we don't have any ground to stand on. You've just changed your mind.
We're just operating on their goodwill.
Yeah,
like if
and the builder is like, no, we don't have any cause to do that. We've held a market, our home off the market. We've already, said we've built it to your specifications. Yep. So there's some other nuances in there, but I will say it is definitely very different. Hello, am I going? Or are you going?
I think they're waiting for you to go.
Okay, sorry.
So anyway, but here's the thing. So a year ago, I think that builder would have given their earnest money deposit back
because they knew they could turn around and sell it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they could have sold it for more money. You know what? They might not have given it back though in this situation because it was just a decision to change your mind. But you would have been more likely to get the goodwill because they'd be like, well, okay, we're still going to profit from this house because we can probably sell it. Prices were increasing so fast that they could probably sell it for more than they were in a contract for. For instance, I saw your closing. What was his last names? Neil and Jill. I saw the number they paid for that house.
Right?
Some of our clients, because they contracted so long ago, it's a house that would have cost them in the 500s. It was in the 300s.
I know.
I saw the number. I looked at it 3 times and went, so way to go.
For them, I know,
that was awesome. Yeah. But nowadays, if you give that builder the house back, they're not sure they can sell it.
Right, and that's a detriment to them, and so they don't have to play nice. Remember, that earnest money deposit is what's always in jeopardy.
Right.
And, you just have to go in, whatever you pay them, you have to go over with the assumption that you could potentially lose it.
Yes.
Miss Amy?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you today?
She's getting her food. He's handing her the bag. She's reaching for it, and the bag is secured. The bag is secured. With one incorrect drink. But see, here's the part. Amy's pretending like she cares.
No.
But the truth is that she'll drink the extra drink. So she likes a good Diet Coke.
Are we good?
Yeah. You can put your thing there. You can put it there. Yeah. Anyway, so.
I'm just saying, do not doubt my fast food skills.
I was trying to talk to the good people and listen to you. And
you weren't listening to me.
I was more interested in them than you. Okay,
anyway.
So, basically, I think we almost can, because we've had the wonderful experience of going through the Chick Fil A drive-thru, we almost can wrap things up by saying, don't cancel unless you have to.
Right.
Cancellation is not something that you should be focused on.
No.
Cancellation is not something you should think as a magical out.
Oh, I can always cancel if I don't like it. Yes, exactly.
And I mean, you know,
goodness gracious.
and if we have clients that need to cancel, we will pull everything we can pull to try to get your earnest money deposit back. We are just in have in previous years have done that. We're just in an environment right now where in new construction, they're just not willing to do that.
And they don't have to.
And in resale, I think it's more. You're less likely to get that money back.
Very much so. Correct.
Unless I think the goodwill would extend. This is me just spitballing. I don't think we've had this situation. But let's say we sold a house and somebody had to back out of the contract. I think I would say, I'm going to hold on to your earnest money deposit and I'm willing to give it back in such time as I am able to sell my house. You know, if I'm able to sell my house quickly. You'd just be counting on the goodwill, is my point.
Well, and when you do, when you do a release and cancellation form, so in that scenario, if it's a resale home, the release and cancellation will dictate how or what happens to that initial earnest money deposit. So if you wanted to say, look, I reserve the right to hold on to that earnest money deposit for 60 days, and if my house doesn't go under contract, I will keep it, and if it does, I'm happy to refund it. But
the seller, don't have that money. Where's the money?
The money's in escrow, exactly.
Right. The title company has the money, generally speaking.
Exactly.
Sometimes the broker holds, very rare situations, but the seller never holds it.
No, it's exactly. It doesn't. You don't have those funds. Those are held by that third party.
So basically, you're in any case, the seller or the buyer is going to have to ask for that money from the title company. The title company is going to go to the contract. The title company is going to go, okay, you still meet the financing contingency. You are out of your safety period. Therefore, I'm awarding. This money is going to go to the seller.
Well, it's how that's what the whole point of the release.
Right.
You're releasing each other from the legal binding terms of that contract.
Right.
And you're releasing any funds that have been, that need to be dispersed. But exactly right. The long and short of it is that any contract for any home, whether it's new construction or whether or not it's resale, it's a legal binding contract. Do not enter into it unless you are sure.
Right.
Do not use, I can just cancel or change my mind without any ramification, unless you just have money that you don't mind.
And there have been situations like that where people have said, well, I'm willing to get this house, I'm willing to risk this $15,000 on the off chance that I don't get this thing. It happens. It's rare. Most people don't have, earnest money deposits to just throw around. But it does happen. But know what you're risking. Because that really is the risk of the contract, is when you send that money, that's what's at risk.
Yes.
But also your whole life and planning and what you're going to do and the sellers, all of that. So cancellation is to be avoided, but that's how it works.
But it does have to happen from time to time.
Yes.
And if it does, you just need to make sure that you remember that you signed a legal binding contract. There's no amount of goodwill that is required on either part.
Right.
Either entity, they can go by the law of the contract.
And it sure is good to have a good advocate in those situations. So therefore, call Amy Kidwell at 407-848-8042. That's her cellular number. Or Amy at heartandhomeorlando.com.
All right.
That's the announcer voice. You have to pause and then go .com.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's good.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. I'm done too. I'm ready to eat my food. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us again. Remember, always stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you. Happy house hunting. Bye.
Bonus coverage. So, you're actually mad at me about the Coke.
Yeah, I'm a little irritated. I'm a little ticked. Because I was right, and you wouldn't let me do what I knew to be right. And now, we have the wrong thing.
But so our son's not going to have a giant vat of Coke. He's going to have a can of Coke instead. So it's all okay.
But
we just want to give you this moment inside the marriage that she's actually mad.
Right. I was right.
So we're like Will and Jada Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith. Do they do the red table talk? Did you ever see that clip on the internet? Where she just they're doing videos like this where they're sharing what goes on in their marriage, and then she's randomly like, I had these entanglements, where she tells them on video in front of everyone that she had an affair. Well, For us, it's...
I don't know that we should post this.
No, that's the thing that happened. But my point is, our Red Table Talk, our deep dive thing is, I got you to order a Diet Coke instead of a Coke. And now I'm
listening to me. You wanted to continue talking.
It's over.
I said pause.
This marriage cannot continue.
I said pause.
This is a
while
Diet Coke.
I'm an efficient orderer.
I was going to break really hard and all the food just spilled.
Oh, great. But I knew I was right. All I'm saying is it's frustrating because I knew I was right, and you continue to correct me in front of the good people, and I was right because you weren't listening. You weren't paying attention, so that's it.
Well, you should stand up for yourself more. If you knew you were right, then just saying. Anyway, marriage. Say that ending thing again.
Again?
Yeah, because I'm probably going to cut the ending thing from before. Unless you have another idea. I don't want to step on your whatever.
Stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you. Happy house hunting. I was going to say happy Thanksgiving.